Ah, you've arrived. Hello there. My name is Bartleby Hugglesworth, but you can call me Bart. No, not Black Bart, although however I can see how this guise may be a little bit confusing. And we did sail the same seas together, although much to everyone's dismay, I'm in a little bit of a much less exhilarating line of work than privateering.
Well, now, you see, I'm but a humble naturalist, and I've been before the mast for nigh on 14 years now or so, and I routinely make voyages to and fro the Far East. But in my precious les-Niçois, I take it upon myself to seek out and cultivate the verdurous marvels of life.
I'm here today to tell you all a little tale. A tale of nail-biting excitement, a tale of titillating adventure, a tale of... it's quite boring, but I myself find it personally fascinating. This is a tale about the riveting process of transporting seeds and young plants across the oceans, and the man who practically wrote the book himself on botanical marine transportation. But first, a little backstory.
In 18th century Europe, it was popular to grow exotic plants from new areas of exploration. This required the long-distance transport of seeds or live specimens from far-flung territories or imperial possessions to European centres, territories like Asia, Africa, and most importantly, the East Indies. Ships laden with cargo left transport hubs throughout the Far East to bring their goods and precious seeds from far-flung jungles and forests to the waiting arms of wealthy Europeans. These far and distant lands offered a tremendous wealth of exotic flora and fauna, and to own any of these important goods was considered a mark of wealth and distinction. However, it proved difficult to transport plants across oceans on long voyages that often took months. Even seed, as one historian writes, lost its viability, rotted, mildewed, and sweated, while even the toughest roots packed in sand in tightly bound boxes shot into the holds of ships either sweated or were frozen to death. A common journey for these ships was from Batavia, modern-day Jakarta, around the Horn of Africa, all the way to Europe and back to the New World. At the time, naturalists drew on a cadre of common practices when they packed and preserved specimens for transport. The study of specimen transport demonstrates the geographic expanse of the centripetal and centrifugal tendencies at work more generally in 18th century science. And this brings us to my dear friend John Ellis. Ellis was a member of the Royal Society of London, and he came to prominence after discovering and transporting the Venus flytrap to many European countries, as well as discovering several new species of coral. According to Ellis, due to the similarities in the temperatures between the Far East and the Americas, many of the same plants would thrive. Take tea seeds, for example. They must be harvested and placed immediately into a half-pound tin container lined with silk paper with double-rimmed tops. The seeds should then be firmly layered between silk paper until the very top. Then the container should be shield-shut and placed in an airy, cool place on the ship. Next, we have a method for younger plants in larger boxes. The box should be 3 feet long, 15 inches wide, and 20 inches deep, with a proper cover of wire to secure the young plants from vermin, as well as a lid to seal and handles. There should be air holes to let the crude vapors escape through wire mesh. Plenty of moss as well to absorb salt water should be placed in the container that needs to be rinsed with clean water daily in order to keep the plants fresh.
Well, for those of you that made it through, I hope I was able to bestow some valuable knowledge upon you. The ability to successfully transport seeds and young plants across the seas of this world was a priceless skill, and it changed the world for naturalists everywhere. If you look around, most of the plants and trees and other flora come from very distant lands, but thanks to men like John Ellis and yours truly, you're able to enjoy the fruits of our labor right here in your very own backyard.